The greatest journeys on Earth? How animals find their way? Right now, all across the planet, billions of animals are quietly on the move. They are crossing oceans, deserts, and entire continents, most of it happening far from human eyes. Some are traveling distances so vast they seem almost impossible for a living thing to survive. This great movement of life is what we call migration. It is one of the oldest and most mysterious rhythms in all of nature. As the seasons turn, food appears in one part of the world and slowly vanishes from another. To survive, countless creatures follow that shifting abundance, chasing warmth, food, and safe places to raise their young. A small bird that stayed still through a frozen winter would slowly starve. So instead of waiting, it lifts off and flies toward a distant summer it cannot yet see. And somehow, without maps, without roads, and without anyone to teach them, these animals know exactly where to go. For a long time, how they managed this was one of nature's deepest secrets. The first clue came from the sky above their heads. Many animals, it turns out, use the sun itself as a giant compass. By tracking where the sun sits and how it moves through the day, they can hold a steady direction for hours. But this trick has a problem. The sun is always drifting across the sky, so these animals also keep an internal clock and use it to correct for the sun's movement as the hours pass. When night falls, some travelers simply switch to a different map. In one classic experiment, small songbirds were placed inside a planetarium beneath an artificial night sky. When the fake stars were slowly rotated, the birds turned to match them, proving they were steering by the constellations. They were reading the patterns of the stars, much as ancient sailors once did. Yet the sky cannot explain everything. Animals still find their way through thick fog, heavy cloud, and the total darkness deep underwater. To do that, they tap into a force we cannot see, hear, or feel at all. The whole Earth behaves like an enormous magnet, wrapped in an invisible magnetic field. That field is slightly different from place to place, almost like a hidden grid laid across the globe. Astonishingly, many animals can sense it, giving them a kind of built-in compass. Scientists believe some species detect it using tiny particles of a magnetic mineral inside their bodies. In others, the sense may begin in the eye through delicate chemical reactions that respond to the field. It is even possible that some birds can, in a sense, actually see the Earth's magnetism as a pattern laid over the world. With this hidden sense, a traveler always knows which way is north, even in complete darkness. Armed with these abilities, some animals push the limits of what a body can possibly endure. Consider the Arctic tern, a slender seabird that weighs no more than a small apple. Each year it flies from the top of the world all the way to the bottom, and then back again. That round trip can cover tens of thousands of kilometers as it chases an endless summer from pole to pole. Over its whole life, a single tern may fly far enough to reach the moon several times over. Then there is the bar-tailed godwit, which attempts something that sounds almost unbelievable. It launches from Alaska and flies south across the open Pacific toward New Zealand. It does this in one continuous flight, without landing, without feeding, and without ever stopping to rest. That single journey lasts well over a week and stretches for more than 10,000 kilometers. Not every great traveler has wings, though. In East Africa, well over 1 million wildebeest march in a vast, thundering loop across the plains. They follow the rains and the fresh grass, and to reach it they must cross rivers lined with waiting crocodiles. Beneath the waves, humpback whales swim thousands of kilometers between cold-feeding seas and warm breeding lagoons. And salmon perform one of the strangest journeys of all. Born in a quiet freshwater stream, they ride the rivers down to spend years out in the open ocean. Then, when the time comes, they turn back and fight their way upstream to the very stream where they were born. They seem to recognize it by smell alone, following a scent memory carried from their earliest days. Perhaps the most haunting story of all belongs to the monarch butterfly. Each autumn, monarchs across North America stream south toward a few small forests in the mountains of Mexico. They gather there in their millions, hanging from the trees in great, shivering clusters of orange. But here is the mystery. No single butterfly ever makes the full round trip. The journey is so long that it takes several short-lived generations to complete. The butterflies that finally return north are the great-grandchildren of the ones that first set out. Somehow, they arrive at the very same forests their ancestors left, a place they themselves have never once seen. The map to get there is not learned at all. It is written into them from birth. These journeys are far more than remarkable feats of endurance. As they travel, migrating animals carry seeds, nutrients, and life itself from one corner of the world to another. They tie distant places together, stitching whole ecosystems into a single living web. But these ancient routes are fragile, and today they are under growing pressure. A shifting climate, lost habitat, and the glow of bright city lights can scatter travelers that have followed the same paths for thousands of years. When we protect these journeys, we help protect the health of the entire planet. So the next time you see a flock of birds streaming across an autumn sky, look a little closer. You may be watching an ancient voyage guided by the sun, the stars, and the invisible pull of the earth itself. Follow Worth Knowing for more things worth knowing.